All right. This is James from Hobo Health, and with me I have Lindsay from Andrew's group. And we just thought we'd get together and talk a little bit about the status of the travel rehab industry right now. Lindsay, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. I am Lindsay Evans. I'm actually the Director of Marketing here at Andrew's Group. Been here for almost 4 years. I actually started off as a recruiter here. So I've kind of run the gamut as far as experience and exposure to different things kind of coming up. It's definitely been a different experience the past 6 months or so, past 9 months at this point. But I'm excited to kind of chat about the status of the travel market and therapy in particular. So it's good to be here.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. It should be fun. I know you're there kind of in an office setting. Are you guys doing anything different? Just there at work on a daily basis? I'm here in the clinic and we're doing masks and taking temperatures and that kind of stuff, but it's got to be tough when you have to work with people day in, day out.
Yeah, so we started working from home back in March whenever this first started to kind of hit, but because of the industry that we're in, we were actually able to work out of the office for, pretty much since the beginning. We didn't really start bringing people back in until May, when things settled down for the first time. But really safety up here was a priority from the beginning. So a few things that we started doing before people started coming back into the office. We completely changed where everyone was sitting to make sure there was as much distance between people as possible. We have a temperature reader when you first walk into the door. It's the first thing that you do before you get your cup of coffee, put your stuff down, you have your temperature read. So we work together. We want to do the best job that we can, not only for our external employees, our travelers, the candidates that we're working with, the clients that we're working with, but just, society as a whole, right? The sooner that we can kind of tamp this down or put a damper on this whole thing, the more we can kind of get back to the things that we really enjoy, and we're not, completely oblivious to the responsibility that we hold there, and we take that very seriously.
Yeah. I know what's going on here in the clinic and what we're doing to try to keep people safe. So I always like hearing what other people are doing in different workplaces and all of that. But it makes me think of when we first really decreased our patient population when this was first going on. We're back up to a full patient population just with some precautions and stuff now, and we'll see if we can carry that through the winter or not. But we ended hesitantly, our hospital ended up letting the travelers go back in April, I think it was. And you have to be seeing a lot of that across the industry. How has that been? How prolific has it been?
Yeah, so it's kind of varied depending on, the modality, the specialty in therapy in particular. We saw exactly the same thing. So I think the first week or two, it was kind of, see how this plays out. But after that, it was a significant drop. We were able to keep some of our therapists on assignment, but those were more of the exceptions rather than the rule, unfortunately. It is starting to come back to some extent. It's not where it was, last year at this time by any means, but it is starting to come back. But we are, I was looking at some numbers specific to therapy from toward the beginning of the pandemic to now. And, out of our placements, we had about a third of them were either, canceled before start. They had a need, but, for whatever reason, just decided not to have someone start, or were terminated mid-contract. Typically, it was usually we would have a good sense of that coming, right? So patient workload decreased, things like that. I think with a lot of facilities, especially with travelers, they have their permanent staff, right? And they want to keep those people around versus as much as possible versus, having to keep people that are only there short term anyway. And so that's completely understandable. It's just, really unfortunate for the travelers, but I think the facilities are trying to do the best that they can for their people and for the people that they bring in. And so it's, it's unfortunate, but hopefully we're kind of getting to that point where it is starting to turn around. We're seeing, as far as the number of needs, that's starting to pick up significantly, especially over the past month. To your point, you kind of mentioned seeing what's going to happen over the colder months. That's still kind of TBD at this point. I would love to say, we're on the upswing. It's not going to go back down, but I think just like everyone, we're kind of, at this point, just looking to see what's happened and cautiously optimistic. But at the same time, we've had a lot of travelers come and say, is this the right time to travel? Should I stay in my permanent position, or should I look for something local? And the answer is a complicated one, right? Like, we want you to have that experience. We want you to travel with us, but at the same time, it is, so uncertain that it really is down to an individual, decision. Are you comfortable kind of taking that leap, taking that risk with, maybe not being able to complete your contract due to need, or if there's, more significant lockdown in areas of the country where some of these therapy positions are not considered, essential at that time, unfortunately. Like, that's a risk that you have to enter in and be comfortable with it, because it's, to some extent it's out of our control, and but that's the reality at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, like I've always said with traveling, a huge part of being a traveler is just being flexible.
Yep.
And definitely in this time, that's heightened. It's even more so if there's a bigger chance of contracts being canceled or things happening, lockdowns happening that are out of our control. But I mean, you said like a third of contracts were either non-starts or they got canceled. Like, that doesn't sound that bad to me. I thought the numbers would be worse than that. That's really, I mean, I know it's a huge amount, but considering what's going on, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, well, 2/3 still kind of made it through.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound that bad, but you also have to kind of consider that the total number of placements in therapy has decreased, significantly. So even though we may not have as higher number of cancellations, there's a lot of just jobs that aren't available. So we don't even get the chance to help someone with a placement, because that opportunity just doesn't exist in the travel world. Like I mentioned before, like the jobs are starting to increase, especially over the past couple of weeks. But it's not necessarily like I don't think the trend isn't up and consistent enough and stable enough to really, for sure say like we're back, therapy's coming back. It seems like it is at this point, and really hope it does. I know you're familiar with it, working with us, and especially Nicole, for so long, but we really got started in therapy. It's, it's our heart, kind of bread and butter for so long.
I mean, I started traveling in 2007. So 2008 was my second year of traveling during the recession and the housing crash and all of that. And I did all right. There were still opportunities out there. I maybe wasn't going to my first option or my very first setting. But I still got to go to a lot of cool places in that time and have a lot of cool assignments. So, I mean, I guess I have to give people that little bit of hope of like, there are jobs out there, it might not all be your first choice, the main thing you want to be doing, but look and see. And I want to pivot off what you said. I mean, are there particular settings or particular regions that are having more need right now than others? Are there any directions you could point people in, or is it not that specific?
Yeah, so it's really kind of across the board. So we do see skilled nursing to some extent. With the dispersal in settings, it has changed a lot. Like, I'm seeing a lot more outpatient positions. I'm seeing a lot more hospital positions where, 6 months ago, I saw a ton of, or, not 6 months ago, about a year ago, I saw a ton of skilled nursing positions, and this is kind of therapy in general, but that's really kind of starting to skew toward outpatient, which is interesting because that's a setting that is really, really popular for travel. But I do want to clarify that, like, just because we're kind of shifting over toward it looks like we're trending over toward outpatient doesn't necessarily mean that those jobs are available to everyone, right? So it's still very much, if you are an experienced traveler, you have a lot of outpatient experience, like facilities are kind of naturally still gravitating toward those candidates. And so, like you mentioned, like being really open on setting, being very open on location you're willing to go. I've loved seeing the PT compact, in place and expand. And unfortunately, not everyone can join at this point, but as more and more states, join that one and put legislation in place that makes that a reality for therapists in that state to travel, make it so much easier. It's huge, but being open on setting, being open on location, really being like having a clear line of communication with your recruiter and the agency or agencies that you're working with is really, really important. With these jobs, the total number of jobs decreasing, it's really, really important to move fast. And so having those conversations with your recruiter, being very clear about what you're open to, what you're not open to, being extremely communicative. So if, I reach out and say, like, James, we have this perfect job for you. Are you interested? Trying to get back to me as soon as possible, versus, maybe not being able to respond until the end of the day or the next day. And then that job is unfortunately, closed, or they've made an offer or something like that. So just keeping that line of communication open and very responsive, as much as possible, at least, right? It's harder when you're working, but that definitely helps kind of increase the chances of getting that assignment that you're really looking for, even outside just the non-exciting, locations and settings. So
it sounds like you're saying something that I think is always true to at least to a lesser extent, in different times in travel, which is like the competitive therapists are going to be getting the jobs. So make yourself competitive, be flexible, and be responsive, and the most competitive people are going to get those jobs. But I'd say if you are out there and you're not finding your travel job right now, but you are in a permanent job of some kind, just being at that job is building your resume and getting you experiences that may help you in the future. When this does come back, it will come back at some point. Whether it's slowly happening now or whether we mean next year. If you're out there working and waiting right now, you're getting skills that will help you get those travel jobs in the future.
Yep, absolutely. And just keep trying, be very open. Like if it's not going to happen right now with travel, just, keep in contact with your recruiter. They are really, working, and I can speak for the recruiters here, but they're really working to keep in contact with the therapists that they've been, trying to place and working with for an extended period of time, right? Just to make sure that, hey, I know you took a permanent position now. Are you looking to travel, checking in, making sure everything's looking good? Because when things, turn around as they look like that, they're starting to, we want to make sure that we're able to kind of jump in and get people the assignments that they want as soon as possible. And I think being ready for that moment is really important. So it makes everything smoother, and speed is the name of the game. So being ready is going to help with the placements a ton.
Great. Cool. Thank you, Lindsay. Why don't you share with the people how they can find you if they're looking for an agency or a recruiter?
Yeah, so check us out. Online website is andersgroup.org, ANDERSGROUP.org. Give us a call. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, of course. So we have a full digital presence, but you can find us at Anders Group, and we're happy to help.
Great. Thanks so much. I hope things continue to go well for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over the remainder of the pandemic here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was nice chatting with James.
All right. Take care.
Great. Bye.